Sound
Back
resumed.
to the Poro Cup 2. Joining me now is Robbie. We did have Harry Surf last match, but he's had to go. And now we have Andreas joining me. This is looking like another action-packed match.
It's just to start off, that is Andreston. It seems like we've had the queue drop out. It looks like Cabbage Swag has dropped, and so has Theo.
Oh, just a little bit of a technical difficulty. Should get that remedied very soon. Is this a rematch?
This is a rematch of the game that I casted earlier today.
Yeah, so this is going to be quite an interesting one, and what were I forget a little bit. What were kind of the defining picks of that match?
I think the main defining picks of that match were the Aurelia pick and the Corky pick were ridiculously dominant in that game. They completely shut down their opponents in their lane, and they basically just made the game not easy, but they didn't have a significant impact on the game. And the Rise as well. You can't forget the Rise in the mid lane, which I believe is why he was banned out last game by Cog against Swiggity Swag. But I'm hoping to see some interesting picks and bans here. Game.
Yep, and Poonslayer played Rengar in that match. Up into against that Aurelian really just got destroyed in that lane.
Sound muted. Sound resumed.
For MWS was that Mr. Cabbage in the mid lane, really strong, really good player, and Tio always seemed to be the one making the plays, but they just kind of got outplayed on 5-on-5s in the rotations around the map. SWSW is really, really good at maneuvering around as a group, and I believe they've only lost one match this tournament.
Well, it is double elimination, so since they're still in the tournament, I believe that is one loss for each team. But I'm interested to see what Tiro picks this game. He was the playmaker the last time these two teams versed each other. And I would say if I had to think of an MVP for MWS, I would have picked Tio.
Yep, champion select. Just coming into it now. Rise quickly banned away. That mid lane pick for Elite. And in the last match, it was SWSW. Swiggity Swag, as they like to be called, had a Lux pick. Aurelia being banned out from the last match. And it's interesting. They're just going for trying to ban out those top laners, trying to ban out those champions they have seen before. But Lux is still on the table. Elite played that one so well in the last match. And I'm interested to see whether or not they're going to take that Lux.
Well, it looks like that MWS has learnt their lesson from the last game they versed against SW, taking out 4 of the main picks that SW had against MWS in that match. They've got the 3 bans and the first pick, and the auto lock Janna as the first pick as well. As we've seen, Nomp has been a complete monster on Janna in the last couple of games that have been streamed of SW.
And Tristana, a feature pick in all of these games. And SWSW going for that one. They play that so well in the duo lane pair. It does take a bit of a beating from Corkies as Lucian banned out. One bully champion, one bully AD carry taken away. And they're going to allow the Corki to come through. But Pentalif doesn't want to play that one. He wants to play as Ezreal instead. It's an interesting kind of long range thing that going for Mr. Cabbage Swag on Xerath and Pentalif on Ezreal.
I'm interested to see how this Ezreal Janna bot lane goes because Janna can provide a lot of peel for him, but other than her tornado, she can't really do much to keep Ezreal alive, especially against something like Tristana and Thresh. Ezreal does beat Tristana early on due to his Q poke though, so I think this bot lane is going to be a really interesting matchup.
Thresh, is that going to be locked in? Yes, it is. And Lulu's been taken away from Mr. Cabbage. Oh no, the Xerath's been picked up. What am I saying? But Lulu's quite the playmaker champion, and with the speed boost, that's going to be really crucial, really cool to see that comboed with a Kazakh's pick. The Lulu knock-up and heal, it's kind of everything that Kazakh's doesn't have. He doesn't have the tankiness. Lulu gives him that. He doesn't have hard CC. The knock-up is right there all around him. And that, just those two comboing together is going to be amazing for catching out members of MWS when they put a foot wrong.
And it looks like they've locked in the Master Yi jungle. I've rarely seen him played in tournament matches, so this will be interesting to see how well Master Yi plays in the tournament draft. Because he seems more like a pub stomp solo queue champion.
Nocturne was the go-to. I mean, not the go-to. Nocturne was what he played in the last match these two teams faced, and it seems Master Yi kind of fits that idea as well. With an ultimate where you're kind of just coming out and ambushing your opponent, surprising them, and trying to clean up some kills or start off a fight and make something happen. Nocturne and Master Yi fulfill the same kind of purpose. I'll be interested to see if he does go for that kind of playstyle again.
Yeah, it definitely will be interesting to watch. I mean, we've got the Fizz pick for mid as well, so that's going to be Fizz into Xerath. Going to be a pretty interesting lane. Early on, I think Xerath has the advantage, but once he hits at least level 3, Fizz is just going to be having a massive cakewalk on that lane. But it does also come down to the junglers, the effect of the jungler ganks and how well they gank and when they gank.
Leet has shown that he can play safe mages. He's shown he can play Lux so well, Rise quite well. Now he's on an assassin. Paired with an assassin jungler, I'm not sure if he is he going to be able to switch his mindset. We're going to have to find out. As Mr. Cabbage Swag is so good at everything he touches, really. Last match, I forget what he played, but he's always impressed me with how well he plays. He played Lulu. Yeah, he's always impressed me with how well he plays in this mid lane, and Leet has also been very impressive. That's going to be an explosive lane for sure.
It is going to be very interesting to see, but I think that Leet, if he can play that assassin playstyle well, I think that Leet will have a nice advantage over Cabbage Swag if the junglers have no input in that lane. But with that said, I think that TO will give an early gank to mid lane to try and give Cabbage Swag a lead on Leet.
And Wrecking Ball's probably going to look to try and counter that one as well. So that's will be an interesting 1v1 in the mid lane until some jungle pressure starts to happen. It is a Master Yi this time though. Strange pick. Bit of a surprise. But if we have a little bit think into it a bit more, Mr. Cabbage Swag has a slow, has a stun. This is all before level 6. Maokai has the single target snare and the knockback. These are the tools you need to set up ganks for a jungler that has no hard CC. Are they going to be able to do that? Is that what they're going for in these solo lanes?
I think with the top lane, I think that's basically what they're going for. The mid lane won't be as easy due to Fizz being able to just dodge everything that Xerath can throw at him. But with the top lane, Lulu doesn't really have any hard disengage other than her slow and her speed up. So if Lulu overextends and Yi comes to gank and Runeslayer goes in, I don't think there's going to be much that Divine could do to get out of that.
Yeah, and Divine's going to have to play this one really smart. He's going to need to ward up the map, and Wrecking Ball will have to be in the right place at the right time. He has done that pretty much every single match we've seen. MWS, on the other hand, they lost their match when they had this kind of Twitch stealth composition with the Rengar, with the Nocturne, and the Rat-a-tat-tat ultimate coming out of Twitch. trying to go for 5-on-5s and split up the opposing team. They have some really interesting strategies, but that game it didn't really quite work out just because they lost lanes, and I feel like that could happen again. They've got Maokai into Lulu. The Tristana Thresh is quite a good combo as well, and they need Snowball this bottom lane. It seems like innately, just from Champion Select, that's the only lane they've managed to get the picks a favourable matchup. They've got Ezreal with the early game poke and the Janna.
I think with all the lanes taken into account for, I think the one lane that MWS should have the significant advantage in is bot lane. The mid lane will be a struggle after they hit level 3, and same with top lane as well. The early poke coming from Lulu onto the Maokai will hurt so much in the early game because of the AP ratios and the high damage scaling on Lulu's Q. I think Prince Slayer is going to have a bit of a tough time in that lane early on in the game.
So, oh, no, someone's still just loading, but yeah, they've got what seems to be, for the side of SWSW, a pick that fits every stage of the game. Lulu, really good in the early game. Tristana, really good in the late game. Fizz, great in the mid game. Kha'Zix's kind of good all round, and their champion select has been so solid, and I think they see in at least 2 of the 3 lanes, they seem to have a small advantage. So maybe this level 1 could be very aggressive, could be something that MWS goes for and tries to pressure something. They are kind of split around. It doesn't look like too much is going to happen, Andreas, but what do you think about the red team grouping up in this little area of the map?
It looks like that MWS is trying to keep their buffs under control, but we can see SW is going to go and invade on this red. But the Fizz taking his Trickster level 1 to dodge any CC or snares or anything that's thrown his way. But it looks like SW is just going to try and push in, that is going to back out and go back to their regular jungle routine by the looks of it.
And they didn't really even ward up, and it's just...
And we got Lulu running through this bush. She's going to get hit by that sapling. That's a nice bit of early damage in favour of Maokai. She is going to have that health back by the time she gets back to that, but she is going to take the long way around to get to her lane now.
Yep, she's been scared off. Not knowing exactly where everyone is at the early game. Take note, kids. Take the safe route if we have a choice. So
yeah, if we get hit by Maokai sapling, don't keep going because you don't know whether they're going to be on top of you or not.
Yep, Maokai, the tree goes back to lane. He's got a little bit of a mana problem. He's been throwing saplings all around the place at the start of this game. Just waiting for that to regen up.
Yeah, he threw 2 at the blue buff to give the leash so he could get to lane at the right time. And he did throw that 1 to see when Lulu was heading to top lane as well.
So Teo getting a little bit of help in the early game to start off his jungle. And it seems SWSW had really just should have no idea where which buff the Master started at, and wow, look how low health he is.
That was a weird jungle route for Teo. He went for a white second, and that has forced him to recall, and that is going to put him so far behind in his jungle right now.
And he didn't.
And he has no mana pots. He has no health pots or anything. All he's taken is the Hunter's Machete and the Warding Trinket. So this is seeming to be a really strange start. He's got 408 gold in the bank right now as well.
Wrecking Ball doesn't know this. He hasn't shown up in the war, but as soon as the Kha'Zix, really good early game duelist, finds out something like this, that Teo's chosen not to go for health potions, that's going to be a huge issue for the Master Yi.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly. Then we've got the Genki mid lane as well.
Yep, Wrecking Ball jumps on top, Mr. Cabbage Swag, and Leeds looking for the kill under the turret. Flash in and flash out, but the turret does take down Leeds. And that's a 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane. First blood going over to the side of Swiggity Swag, so they've got a small gold lead. But when kills are traded, I think it really favors the team with Kill Assassin.
That was a very risky turret dive, and they, I think they were a bit too optimistic about the outcome of that. If that turret just attacks a bit too fast for Leet's liking by the looks of it.
Dead Sentence land on the cliff are going for a little bit of a trade in here. But in the bottom lane when you're full health, not all that much happens. They just kind of poke down and around. Leet takes a lot of damage from Mr. Cabbage Swag in that lane. It seems to be not all that. It's not going to be all that exciting in a 1v1 situation. But when the junglers show up, man, that lane goes crazy.
And that's the second time that Tio's recalled in this match, and he's picked up that early Madred's Blood Razor, but he's recalled twice already in the first 4.5 minutes of the game. In the last 2.5 minutes since he got that blue buff, he's recalled 2 times already. And I think that's a bit risky for his jungling. And it looks like he might be looking to set up a gank at mid lane as well.
I don't know if he is. He's trying to go for the referral flare, but hold up, he's a red buff. He's slowing down Leet. Leet has no mobility left, not even a flash. There's the kill on top of him as the teleport was cancelled by Divine. Might actually have been cancelled by Poomslayer interrupting, as he has taken a lot of damage and has to go back to base in that top lane. That could be a bit of an issue as Lulu's gaining a CS advantage.
That was a good bait by Xerath, going into Cloak Fizz and forcing Fizz to jump on him to give the easy gank to Tio. And the Twisted Advance denying Divine the recall, the teleport into the mid lane, sorry, that was really well played out by MWS. Making sure that they had everything set up how they wanted to and executing exactly how they planned.
In this bottom lane, we're actually seeing the fresh Tristana seems to have a bit of an early CS lead against an Ezreal and Janna. Wasn't quite expecting that one, but Nom has been playing so well on that fresh, really turning that Tristana into a lane bully against an Ezreal, which shouldn't really happen. Just maybe a little bit of a difference in the individual skill of these players here in the bottom lane.
Well, we also see the Maokai has reached level 6 before Lulu, so this is going to be a bit frustrating for Lulu until she, never mind, I'll just guess what I said. He's just hit level 6, so disregard everything that's been said. But Mr. Cabbage in the mid lane is putting so much pressure onto Leet. As soon as his tricks is down, Cabbage is just throwing out his Q and W to harass Leet and just to keep him away from that CS. We've also got an engage up in top lane as well.
Yep, slow onto Divine from that sapling is the last bit of damage that they do go for, as the trade between the tree and the magician really isn't all that exciting. The tank can do some damage, can take some damage. That's all that really happened just there. But Lulu still tiny bit of a CS lead, should be able to keep poking Maokai down and continue that advantage until we see another Master Yi gank. The first one happening in the mid lane. He is hit level 6 now. Is very low health, but we're going to watch for that. Where is that Master Yi going to go?
Looks like he's going to go for white again. He does have 14 stacks at the moment, which is not that bad for you. I've got to question his jungler. He's recalling again for, I think that's the 4th time this game.
I wouldn't question it, to be honest. He's got 1 assist. Kha'Zix has 1 assist. He's got 41 CS to 28. I think he's doing a very good job.
He does, but Kha'Zix has been ganking lanes a lot more than Master Yi has. I think Tio's ganked mid lane, but Kha'Zix has been to top and bot lane as well as mid, and trying to help all his lanes and giving the map presence that he's been giving in every game that they've played so far.
The gold seems to be equal at the moment. Even with the 2-for-1, it's all pretty tied up. Maybe the next time jungler comes out of their jungle looking for a gank is going to be when this game starts to take on a turn. So one team starts to take a bit of an advantage. Red buffs are being taken by the junglers now. That's going to help them gank with slows on auto attack. And where do you think they're going to be going for? Where do you think they're going to be heading, looking to get an advantage?
Well, it looks like that MWS might be trying to set up for a Baron there, or another gank on... sorry, not a Baron, a Dragon, or a gank on mid, but it looks like they're just warding up and trying to keep the mid lane safe at the moment. We do have the pings from Swiggity Swag, sorry, on the Dragon, so they might be just trying to... might be setting up for it as well soon.
And Pentalift's actually just spamming Qs to farm these minions right here. Has picked up a Sheen, doesn't really mind about the mana. And in this mid lane, oh, Leet's going aggressive, immediately stunned up before. Oh, hold up, Leet's jumping in, Leet's doing Chum the Waters and picks up a kill in that mid lane. Here's Tio with the teleport, that's why he picked up that summoner. But hold on, the Wrecking Ball's there, and Tio does go down. Wasn't able to channel meditate for long enough, and that's just one kill, 2 kills in the mid lane.
And I'm surprised that Leet did not just die there. He just did his dash straight through the Ezreal and took no damage from that.
Troll pole is real.
He didn't use his trickster, he used his Q to dash through a minion and dash straight into the Ezreal, but took no damage, which was incredibly strange. But we see Swiggity Swag taking that X Dragon as well as the 2 for 0 exchange in the mid lane. That is a nice lead that Swiggity Swag have pulled for themselves now. Well,
Swiggity Swag, really good individual players, and they've taken down the Dragon as well, so that's global gold. Even in the top lane when both lanes is a 0-0-0. Lulu's now a little bit more gold than the Maokai because of that. And
yeah, it looks like all the action in this game so far has been in that mid lane. I mean, there is a small poke trade between the laners in top and bot lane, but there hasn't really been much more action than just all skirmish trades there.
all the kills and assists are on the mid laners and junglers. And oh, maybe we're going to see something happen this top lane. No, Hoonslayer just walks away from that one. And I'm going to go
Leek
back.
coming in from behind on the mid lane as well.
Oh, Leek decides he's got Chum the Waters up again, so he's looking for another kill. He has a double buff. Cabbage Swag uses the barrier trying to stay alive, and does do so. Leeds, I think, could have continued going for that one, chose not to, thinking that he got the kill, not expecting that barrier to pick up Cabbage.
That was a really well timed barrier by Cabbage, waiting until Lee had disengaged to use that barrier.
Tom's hit a hook on the pendulum. The lane is coming into this fight now. Tio's jumping on the Master Yi with all those stacks. He's looking for Lee the Fizz, but it's actually a double kill for Lee. Now the Danner is on the run. Really good grouping from SSW, but that's not a group, that's a solo Lulu versus Mr. Cabbage Swag, who's actually quite far behind. Whoa, flash from Divine. He's still on top of Cabbage Swag, being slowed up, and does get that kill as well. That's 3 kills in the space of less than a minute for SSW. Wow, Mad Light's in the bottom lane though. He's had a hook onto Pendulum after the essence, after the jump was used, and they just take him down under his own turret. Wow, SSW is such a good team.
That was a great fight to watch, I gotta say. The ways that Swiggity Swag managed to use Thresh and Lulu to stick on the 2 different people to keep them apart from each other, as well as make sure they can't get away as the others close in. The perfect tricksters by Elite to dodge the numerous alpha strikes from Tio as well. And I think that was just a really well executed team fight by Swiggity Swag.
And now they've gone back to base and reward with some items. Lich Bane, they're already complete on Leet. And Tristana's working towards a huge item. BF Sword and Zeal complete now. Lulu's got a Fiend's Unholy Grail. Kha'Zix has finished his Lizard item. Really is Master Yi. With his strange farming routes, he's got a CS advantage, but in the fights he's just not been able to convert that into anything for his team. What really does he need to do? What more can he do?
There's not much he can do really. I mean, Sweetie Swag has just been showing constantly in the last couple of games that they can take a small lead at the start and just take that lead and just completely steamroll the rest of the game, especially with their champion picks as well.
And we are seeing them trying to steamroll this with a lot of vision coverage. In this red side jungle area, they're looking to take down this bottom lane turret. They haven't actually taken down any turrets yet, but they're playing so aggressive in the jungle, trying to control that, trying to take some of that away from the Master Yi, so to slow down the feral flare rush that Tio seems to be going for. And they are taking down this mid lane turret. That seems to be what feral flare, how to deny a feral flare jungler. It is about controlling Tio's jungle, and they're doing just that right now.
And yeah, they're
Jungle Waters hits onto Tio. It looks like he's going down Alpha Strike, delaying his death. But, oh, hold on! They're jumping in for this one too. Or are they? They need to disengage from this one, realizing King Lift is on the way. And now, Elite is just jumping under a turret. And that was a flash from Mr. Cabbage Swag. Elite is so good at baiting out these summoners from the opposing team.
They did really well, and I was just watching top lane as well. Divine turret diving a Maokai and nearly getting away with it, forcing the Prince Slayer to back off from his turret and recall. But that fight, Nomp is showing how well he plays support with the hooks on his these Mad Life hooks on Thresh, as well as the way he played Jan in the last couple of games as well. I think that Nomp and Lead are just showing how much
all of them are playing so well together, very well coordinated. And individually, they have the mechanics required to win the lanes, or just to go even, and then they group up and they start to push an advantage. Leet, being the guy that's got that advantage in the past two matches, first on a Lux, and I wondered, would he be able to change playstyle and play this Fizz? The answer is hell yes, he can. He's 5-2-1. He's got more than half of the kills for his team this game. Last game it was just half. He got Lichbane, takes down that turret very quickly. And they're going to continue just to pressure this lead. And it seems the Dragon is going to be the next area of focus.
It looks like Leet's trying to look for an opening to try and get across that mid lane as well. But that is going to be a Dragon for Swiggity Swag, increasing their lead by more. That's also a missed ult by Elite, and he's in the middle of 4.
Yep, he's jumping around, he's trying to get out of this one, waiting for the cooldown. There's one cooldown, is it going to be enough? Holy moly, yes it is, but he's going to have to dodge 3-0 shots. He dodges 2, he gets hit by 1. The shield keeps him alive, and now the disengage, the glitter lance, the Kazakh's void spiked, all these slows. And Nom's still looking to hit the death sentence. Not quite predicting that one there. SSW, wow. They're playing to the limits of their champions. And so is Poonslayer. He seems to be doing what he's done a few times. Be solo against a whole lot of members. But this time it seems it might be working. And yes, it does. The sapling pops. And that takes down Nom. The Thresh that's been mad life around the map. Could this be a mid lane turret for MWS?
I don't think they're going to be able to get that turret, as it seems they are disengaging and going to go try and defend that bot turret. But that was a great disengage and well played by Swiggity Swag. The communication between Leet and Nomp to get Leet out of that alive was really, really good, sorry.
But then Nomp kind of played a little bit too aggressive, and Toonslayer catching them out, flashes over the wall, and they managed to pick up a kill onto Nomp there. But that's his first death of the match. That's the third death for the entire team in this match. Almost reached 20 minutes. 2 outer turrets have been taken down, and top lane is the last one. Is the next one available? Is SWSW going to be looking for that one?
Divine might be looking for that top turret, and it looks like Leet's fancying getting himself the last top turret as well. But It looks like that they're just gonna try and get some wards out and maybe try and push down this mid turret. They are going to steal that red buff from Tio though, removing a lot of his ability in a team fight. That red buff.
And we see MW is doing a good job. All three of them rotating up to this blue buff. And Leet's looking for them. He's just going to hang around the side there. Oh, hold up, there's Twisted Punch. But that's a Fizzle jumping on, and he can do whatever he wants. Runs back to the Lantern. Oh, doesn't quite connect, but the play connects. And here's Chum the Waters onto the swishy support. A Wrecking Ball jumps in. Tastes their pair, and Leet picks up that kill for himself. Now they're jumping in. Whoa, a little bit too hard though. Immediately gets taken down. And it's a hook onto Tio, but that's not really going to matter as they do back away from this one. It's a 1-for-1, and the jungler is dead.
That was a good 1-for-1 trade by MWS. They did catch out Leet, but Leet is just showing, especially with someone like this.
Twisted advance, snares them up, but the dark passages really just saving everyone. Leet and then Divine. Again, SWSW making great use of this threshold. Here's another great use, but that's hooking onto a tank, and there's a Xerath in the bush. He's dealing AoE damage to both members of SW. SW both go down. This game seems to be turning around a little bit, but are they gonna... They've got some kills, they're winning these fights now, but how can they really push this? How can they really turn this game on its head?
I think it's really just the small things that they've been doing so far. I mean, they've been catching out Swiggy Swag like a fair bit now. Swiggy Swag are getting a bit too ahead of themselves, trying to take too much advantage of their lead that they had, and MWS has taken advantage of their them soloing around and running around by themselves to pick up another 3 kills. I think it is 3, and 3-1, and try and pull this game a bit closer for them.
Tristana now completed an Infinity Edge and a Static Shiv. That power spike to a Trinity Force on Pentlift is going to be quite huge. Tom, he's doing the same thing, being a little bit solo. Just looking around in the mid lane at the moment for some hooks, but SWSW little bit split at the moment. They're trying to rotate around. As we see, they are looking for this top lane turret now. It's so low health. What is it that the MWS kind of needs to do? They have been catching members out. They do have a Master Yi, super janitor, super scaling champion. How are they going to make use of a champion like that as well as the strong Zero?
Well, right now they're taking advantage of the Master Yi with the backdoor, but we do see the Lulu teleport coming out here.
Yep, he does get the turret, and now Divine is in a 1v1 situation. Uses the knock-up, and it's a heal as well, but Alpha Strike taking down Divine. Tio's got a kill for himself and a turret in response. Instead of defending a super low health turret, that was a really good decision by him. Really good solo play. Is that what they need right now? Is that what they need the Master Yi to be doing?
That was a turret for turret kill, and Master Yi is one of those champions that needs to get those turrets for his team and get that gold advantage for himself as well as his team, and try and snowball to get his team ahead. But that was a one-for-one turret exchange with a kill on top for MWS, sorry, reducing their lead from 5k to about 4k, I think? About just over 4k.
4.6. Just a little bit.
That, yeah.
It was just one kill gold.
That was the one kill
but,
gold, yeah. It does make a difference in the end. It will make a difference.
Yeah, because it's on the Master Yi. It's on the guy. Well, the thing I like about what Tio did there is what they've tried is 5-on-5 team fights. And we had a team fight where Fizz just kind of jumped around on his pole, dodging alpha strikes, and Tio wasn't able to take him down, really going for that one guy. So Tio decided, hold on, I'm not going to go for these team fights anymore. Goes to the bottom lane, gets a turret, and gets a kill as well. I really like that decision, the change of style that Teo's adjusting in this match.
Well, that's basically what good players need to do. They need to try and figure out what's going wrong for the match and adjust for it during the match, not after. But that was really well played by Teo. Switching down to that bot lane, letting that top turret die because it was low, getting them towards the turret that was on full HP, along with the kill on the Lulu that teleported in. It was well executed by MWS in general, and that was, yeah. But they did lose the Bat Dragon again to Swiggy Swag. So.
They haven't managed to push their vision line up all that much. They do have a decent amount past their turrets though, and that is really important because after losing turrets, you lose like free wards and vision wards too, turrets, because they have that little buff. If you've ever clicked on a turret, or if you've ever killed a ward on the turret, you know what I'm talking about. They do have wards outside of the turrets in the jungle, and that's exactly where they need to be. They can defend these turrets 5-on-5, I think. What the problem is going to be is if that stops being the case. If SWSW can, for whatever reason, dive under their turret and take them on 5-on-5 in a siege scenario.
Oh, it looks like we'll see with Bruce Lee all being popped as well, and there was a bit of a scrim there on the mid turret. We also do have Teo backdooring bot lane again. It doesn't look like that Sweetie Swag has noticed this yet, or they've noticed and they don't really care to bother about it right now. But it's really dangerous to leave a Yi unchecked.
They're trying to base, and it is going to be Leap that's defending, but if we have a look at the turret, it is going to be taken down. So now they're pushing quickly into the mid lane. Mr. Cabbage Swag super low. He's backing away. Does not get hit by anything that's been put out by Thresh. They're actually winning this team fight. Leap is not there. He's the most important member of the team. Slayer is so huge right now. And there's another champion slain. Master Yi splits up the whole team. Goes down in the bottom lane. But wow, that was really good team play. They got a turret to kill in exchange for really 2 kills. It seems MWS is playing the team game better than SWSW.
I think that was a really bad call by Sweetie Swag, whoever called for Leap to recall. Leap is the one with he has 7 out of their 10 kills, and he is most of the power for Sweetie Swag. As soon as MWS saw him out of the picture, they knew that they could win that fight, with their kills being evenly distributed across their team.
That's their huge problem that Swiggity Swag has is, who do they send back? They sent back a Lulu with the teleport, and she died. And you just took down the turret and then killed the Lulu. So they send back Fizz, and they lose the team fight because he's the strongest member. They don't have all that much to deal with the Master Yi right now. Is it only the Fizz that can do that? And the way Teo is playing is he's going to siege when SWSW is looking to group up. Is not quite expecting that turret push. Where's he going to be looking to push next?
I think he might be looking to push top lane right now. We've got the push. Top lane is pushing out for MWS, and we can see Teo heading up there right now as well.
Did walk for a ward.
I think Sweetie Swag's best option here would be to send Koinu on Tristana back. He's not got the kills, but he does have the 24 static shift with the ult disengage and the jump to keep distance from Teo. I think Koinu would be the best person to send back here if they did send someone back right now.
Yep, and they don't send anyone back just yet. They do decide to do so more than just one, as they are sitting in this bush. The bag's actually going to be stopped, but it's going to cost you an essence into the team. SWSW trying to find this fight, trying their best to engage and also go back to base at the same time. What can they really do? Teo's on their turret, they're not really sure. They're going in for this one. Come the waters, lands, and now Leaks in the middle of the fight. Whoa, double kill already. Tristana's going huge. She's got 3 kills now. That's a triple kill. And they're on this bottom lane turret. This is an inhibitor turret as Teo is pushing the top inhibitor turret. Is this a base race? What is going on, Robbie?
I think that I'm not exactly sure what's happening. I think that I think Swiggy Spike didn't really know what was going on right then, but the death sentence landed by Nom allowed Sweetie Swag to engage on right into the MWS and get them the kills. The death sentence onto Janna made MWS pull up, try and save Janna, but Leet just jumped straight into the middle of them, and Zonya, to give his team enough time to jump in there and have his back there as well.
You really have to give credit to MWS. In every other match SW has played, when they've got an advantage, they've snowballed it and they've won, and there's really been no kind of... There's been maybe one team fight where the other team seems to start to come, but then no, it's crushed out in the next fight. But Tio has been taking turrets left, right, not centre yet, because he hasn't gone for the mid lane. Maybe that's the next one. We really have to give credit to him and the rest of his team, playing this one so well and staying in this game.
I think a good idea for Tio right now, they have opened up that inhib in top lane. It might be a better option for them to group up as a 5 and try and pick off at least Fizz or Tristana on Sweetie Swag, and then push up the top lane, get that in here, and then take out the mid lane or the bot lane. I think the best bet for MWS right now would be to group up.
Tio just teleported and took the inhibitor touch. He did exactly what you just said. Now he's running around the base. He doesn't really know what to do. What? He's just farming minions. And he's gone down. That's the jungler. That's the guy that has smite. You need a jungler to take Baron. You need a jungler to steal Baron. It may be
it's going to be
wanted.
Looks like it might be a Baron for Sweetie Swag. Though I can see what he was doing with those minions, stopping Sweetie Swag from having any minions coming into the lane anytime soon, will allow MWS's top lane to push up as it's doing right now. We do see Cabbage setting up his ult to try and steal that too, but it's just too early.
Excellent. Wait, they're just waiting it out. Excellent. And then they burst once the Xerath ultimate is finished.
The thing is though, even though they did get the Baron, they are going to have to defend that top lane against those super minions.
Yep, but...
Or they're going to lose their turrets.
I'm not quite sure how long it takes for it to respawn, but I don't believe Master Yi's teleport will be up before...
6 minutes.
It's 6 minutes, is it?
It was 5 minutes, they changed the last patch, I believe.
Okay, well Master Yi's teleport cooldown is 5 minutes. So there's a 1 minute window where he could potentially teleport in to their base with a super minion and try and take down the Nexus turrets. That
was kind of a good buy by Tio. I could see what he was trying to do there, but I think it was a bit too risky to make that play. And Swiggy Swag has pushed out that top lane, and they could use this Baron in their top lane. It looks like they are going to go for that top turret and the inhib in top lane. Counter those super minions that MWS has right now. We also do see Tio backdooring again in the bottom lane.
He's just going wherever SWSW is not. I don't know if this is quite the right idea. Maybe he could surprise them by showing up, because
really needs to recall right now.
Yeah, he's not pressuring an inhibitor turret, and he's not defending one either. They need him back here right now. He needs to get onto that turret as soon as possible. We see Divine backing off. That's enough. That's enough. That's what they want. They want to spot up SWSW. They're just denying.
Swiggy Swag has stopped recalling. Their recalls have all been denied.
Tio is attacking so fast, knockout, but that doesn't matter. He cannot be slow. And here's the team fight in the bottom lane though. Underwater's onto the 80 carry. Koinu jumps right into Tristana doing heaps of damage as Janna's falling as well. Only the tank line is left, and it's just a Moonslayer 99. Just the Maokai there. He does go down. Master Yi also in the bottom lane was pressured off the inhibitor. He doesn't have enough life still. He can't dual Divine, and that is huge. They send back the right member, and they're able to defend their base as well as get 4 kills for themselves and a top lane inhibitor.
I think the main thing that made a difference there was Swiggy Swag was able to get Divine up there before the turret died, not just as it was dying. That allowed Divine to defend the turret.
But he's gonna go down. That's why he wasn't team fighting this game. Why he was running around, split pushing, backdooring, and that is going to be the victory for SWSW.
He really did need to recall just then and stay with his team in that top lane. His team did not have enough strength without him to hold that inhib turret. And that was the end of MWS. As soon as that inhib turret fell in top lane and the team fight broke out, there was just no more hope for MWS in that.
He got the recall out of the Lulu, and that was really... that made it 4v4 on the bottom lane, but it was not a 4v4 his team could win. And then he lost the 1v1 against the Lulu as well. So that concludes this round. Thank you very much for joining me, Robbie, Andreas. Do you have any last words? But before we end this round and go for a short break.
I'd like to say congratulations to Swiggity Swag, in getting to the semi-finals. And unfortunately I won't be able to cast anymore. I wish I could, but hopefully I get to cast again soon. And you guys will be listening on Undressed. And thanks for watching.
Yep, thanks guys. So we're just going to take a quick break, but do stay tuned for the next round in just a moment.